Hello you lovely lot, welcome back. So today's video is all about my surprise Formula 1 painting. Now, if you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, I've absolutely rinsed the crap out of this painting, but it took me the whole of December pretty much. It was like over 30 hours and then I had to frame it and it was such a big thing. And then I'm not gonna lie, I have been working my little bum off all the way through January, but I don't like to show those paintings until they're finished, because you never know what happens with things. So that is why I've had to like drag out that painting for as long as I can, until I can release the new ones, which are going out on Monday. It's currently Friday, this video is going out this Sunday. So everything now, it's like I've had to like backlog a little bit. If I keep looking down, it's because I've got my iPad on the queue for Beyonce tickets. So that's the one good thing about working from home, is I can like work and do like little bits like this. So I'm currently 28 thousandths in the queue. If I get tickets, it will probably be a miracle, but yes, I'm trying to get ones to go to Cardiff. I've never been to Wales and I camped quite a lot, so I actually am looking forward to going to Wales this year anyway. But yes, so I am in the queue. If I keep looking down, that's why. But this painting has been massive for me because it has actually like boosted all of my social media. I've had like a lot of work opportunities come through because of this painting. My boyfriend loved it, so it's actually been a really big turning point, which I'm really proud of. So the backstory behind this painting, I'll pop up a little picture now of like what it looks like. So the backstory behind this painting is that I've mentioned it before, but at the end of September last year, I left my job and I left it pretty unexpectedly. Like, I didn't plan to leave, and that like I didn't have extra savings put away to support me leaving for like a year's worth of wages. I didn't do any of that. So when I did leave, it was a big leap of faith, and I also bought a puppy, which looking back now, like logically I shouldn't have done that because he was very expensive. He continues to be very expensive, but he has made this working from home, working for myself, so much more enjoyable. Like, I have a little friend with me all the time. Like, if anyone knows me personally, like, you know how much I absolutely love dogs, and it's just very special to me. However, very expensive. So I left my job, not much savings. Now luckily I do live at home, so it's not like I'm gonna be homeless and, you know, not have any food, because my dad is very caring and supportive with the fact of what I'm doing. So yes, left my job, had not much work coming, I'm not gonna lie, like very quiet. I was doing stalls, I was creating original pieces, sold one or two of them but didn't really do much. And yeah, Christmas was coming around and I had no idea what I was going to do for my boyfriend's Christmas present. So a little backstory about him. We've been together like over 3 years now, and we have supported each other through all of our crazy job changes. Like, he has had a few different jobs, and like I've done quite a few jumps between jobs and figuring out what I want to do. He went self-employed last year, then I went self-employed, so it's been quite a lot of stress in terms of career things, but it's because we're at the age where we're figuring shit out, and it's all you know, it's all part of it. So he is like I said, my biggest supporter, my best friend, my best hype man ever. Anything I want to do, we figure it out, and he is just a great little human being. But he recently got into Formula 1 last year. Now, I used to watch it a little bit with my dad when he used to watch it, but I didn't really know that much about it. And Dan started watching the races, and when they were first on the telly, all you hear is meow, meow, meow the whole time, and they're on for a couple of hours. And I used to be like, oh my god, what are you watching? Like, I used to just crack on to something else. But then he was getting more and more into him, and then last year he literally watched every single race of the season, and his dream is like, I'm gonna get to Formula 1. So when I was working at my job throughout the summer, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for Christmas. I'm gonna get him Formula 1 tickets. Like, I'm gonna go, we're gonna go to Silverstone. I've actually been to, I don't know if it's Silverstone or Silverstone. I've been to Silverstone before. My dad had like a track day thing for his birthday. It's really cool there. So I was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. It was born in the UK, Formula 1 was, so that is my plan. Until I looked how much the tickets were. So, Formula 1, if you didn't know, is like one of the most expensive sports ever. It's worth it, obviously, they're million pound cars, but it's quite an expensive sport. So obviously with the circumstances I was in, there was no way I was going to be able to afford, you know, like £1,000 each tickets to get there. And, you know, I said to Dan, like, Christmas is going to be very quiet. Obviously he was understandable and he just went, make me something. So I was trying to rack my brain of what I wanted to create for him. You know, I've done drawings before, like I've done drawings of his dog and things like that, so I didn't really want to do anything like that. I didn't ever say anything else, and that was like back in November. Didn't ever mention it again. And then it got round to the beginning of December. I was like, shit, I need to like sort this painting out now. So this is where we get started. So I picked the biggest canvas that I could find at the time, and it was a 120 by 100 canvas. Never painted anything that big before. I never painted a portrait, I'd always drew them. So it was the biggest painting I've ever done. First time painting a portrait, first time also painting and creating a car, and it was Formula 1, so there's no way I could like mess it up because you know exactly what that car is going to look like. It's like, if you drew like a cartoon car, you can get away with it if it looks a bit odd. You know, if you're painting like one of the most famous sets of cars in the world, those race cars, you've got to get it spot on. So I started off then creating. I had to do it all within 3 weeks. Originally, I was like, oh yeah, December, I've got like over 4 weeks, that's fine. Stupidly didn't think like Christmas, you know, is in the 3rd week, pretty much in the 3rd week of December. So I had 3 weeks. And I also had to do it on the sly because he does come round a couple of nights a week. We spend the weekends together. So I had to, like, every time he come round, go and run it upstairs and hide it so he couldn't see it. So yes, we will start off. So started off with the car. Now, drawing it out I actually found quite difficult because this painting was so big. I was doing 10cm square blocks on this painting, so I marked all of that out, and then we got started on the car. I started off with the wheels and I was so nervous, like, because I was like, if I mess this up I have no backup plan. Like, I had to get it spot on. I had to do it in 3 weeks. So yes, started off with the wheels of the car, and then I was finding my feet a little bit. I was like, I looked back and I'd finished the wheel and I was like, you know what, that doesn't look too bad. And then I cracked onto more of the body of the car. I found the stickers to be quite a lot because obviously you know what brand stickers look like. Yeah, doing all of the brand stickers and things like that, it was actually really good to challenge myself, because now that I've challenged myself with a painting like this, like, it's opened up so many opportunities for me. So yeah, I finished the car. This is what the car looks like, and then I moved on to the track. So with the track, I found it actually quite difficult because I'm used to doing, if anything I'm painting, I'm used to painting quite textural. I use textural paste and things like sponges. So I was like, I didn't want to add any textural paste onto this painting. But I also wanted to create the gravelly effect. So I started off doing it with brushes a little bit and didn't really like how it was turning out. Went to more bristly brushes, that was working out okay. Added some sponge work in there, and eventually I did all of the shadows under the car, and it started to look a little bit more 3D. If I was to do it again, I probably would deepen up the base layer a lot more than I did, and then add the lighter greys on top of it. But that's where I got so far. Then I moved on to the track. So with the track, originally I was like going to freehand all of the lanes, because obviously where the painting was, the picture of the painting, it like curved around like this. So I was just going to freehand it and try and do it that way. And I did a bit of it and I looked and I was like, this is not it. Like, it's got to be spot on. So I taped it all out, and that was a game changer. So gradually as the painting curved around, your lines get thinner, and followed it through that way. Also, on some of the lanes behind where the exhaust system is of the car, I decided to blur them out a little bit, because naturally if you was looking at a scene and there was exhaust fumes, a bit like a toaster, if you've ever toasted toast and you get those wavy heat lines, I wanted to create that behind the car as well. So I did that, and I actually really liked how that bit turned out. And then I moved on to the stadium. This stadium was actually I'd say the track was probably the most difficult thing to paint, considering it seems really easy, it's just a bunch of lines. The stadium was it wasn't a difficult process once I knew how to do it, but the learning curve behind doing that was a bit more challenging. But the track itself, like, I found that difficult purely because of the angles of the lanes. You had to get them spot on. So doing the stadium, I decided to do a backwash of colour first, because it was quite dark, and also as the tiers of the stadium go up, the darker it gets to create the depth. So I started off by doing a blacky blue wash behind the painting, and I think that helped create some depth. And then I was like, I can't individually draw all of these people, and you couldn't see all of the people in the painting anyway. So I started off by doing little blobs, a lot of like rounded paddle brushes, and dabbed that all on. I originally started off with a lot of grey tones, and then gradually added a little bit of white, a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, to try and give an idea of different people's t-shirts supporting different teams. But the majority of the people you couldn't see, so I did a lot of them grey. Now, this is then where I messed up a little bit. I wanted to create a more sheer look for the, how would you say, gates? Not gates. Fences, like the fences of the stadium where it would hold all of the supporters in. I wanted to create quite a sheer look, because obviously it was mesh, so I wanted the people to shine through at the back. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use watercolour on top of an acrylic painting. Mixed media, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. I used the tactic of the tape, like I did with the lanes, like I did with the track, and I like mapped it all out, and I was painting my lines across, and I liked how it looked, but I wanted it to be a little bit more sheer. So I get a huge paddle brush, and I go whoof like that, and I put so much water on. I don't know why I did that. So much water that when I did it, instantly it started to drip. I started to panic. I was like mopping it all up, and I got my towel and I like wiped it, and although it took a lot of the paint away, it actually looked really cool. So again, through the rest of the painting, I decided to like give it a slight wipe, obviously not as much water on, and then that's how I create the fences. Now, I wouldn't do this again, because when I then went to varnish, it did start to pick up a bit of the colour, so I had to make sure I did one swipe in the following the lines of the fence so that it didn't blur out everywhere. It looked okay for that painting because of the depth, like how far away it would be, you wouldn't really see, but I would not do that again. I would not recommend anyone who's trying to paint any kind of like high detailed acrylic pieces, do not use watercolour on top. It's a learning curve, you know. I've not been painting for years and years and years. I'm always going to figure out something new, and any new mistakes I make, I will share. So yeah, I would not recommend doing watercolour on top of an acrylic painting. Some people are going to go, obviously Charlotte, like, you're stupid, but you know, it's a learning curve. And then I moved on to the rainbow lights. Now, I found these really, really difficult. I hadn't done anything like this before. Now that I've done it, I know how I would do it a lot better. But I wasn't a massive fan of how they turned out. So it was a rainbow ombre light. What are they called? I'm just gonna do this until it comes to me. Not shadows. Beams, right? Rainbow beams of light that had like shined out from the big stadium lights. So I did taped them out, then had like 6 different paint brushes, and I was doing a bit of blue going out, then a bit of green, then a bit of yellow, then a bit of orange, a bit of red, and I really, really liked that. Now, where I went wrong is I think I originally did the rainbow lines a bit too thick, because then when I tried to blur out the edges the same way I did with the exhaust fumes, they looked a little bit thick. I think they turned out okay on the painting. Like, Dan loves it, so that's all that matters really, as long as he likes it. But now I know if I was ever to do something like that again, I would thin them out a lot more. One thing I actually really liked about this painting, in the back at the top where little sparks of light, I did a bright bit of white and a bit of yellow in it, and I think it really gave a glowy effect. So I was really pleased with that. And then I'd finished the painting and I was so tired. So I managed to finish it pretty much like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And then I went on to varnishing. Now, this beautiful little easel is my absolute baby. I picked it up from Amazon and it was only about £130, and for the quality of it, it is insane. So, you know, some easels that lie flat, like this is a H-frame easel and you can lay it flat all the way, so varnishing is like a dream on it. But some of them are like £500, so to get this for £130 is like spot on. I would consider getting another one, to be honest, because I'm doing some really big paintings soon, and that, you know, they're like, some of them are like over 1.5 meters long, so very big painting, so I need the support. So I am considering actually buying another one. We'll see. But yes, I use the Liquitex high gloss varnish on this painting. Now, varnishing is really personal preference. I am learning quite a bit. Now, I've been using high gloss varnishes for the whole time I've been painting, but that is because I've been using a lot of like gold leaf, like gold metal leaf, silver, moving into different foils, metallic paints. So that's why high gloss works really well for me with those paintings. For this one, because there was nothing, like no metallic really on it, there was a few metallic colours running through it, but they wasn't super shiny. Like, I didn't make that, and I didn't emphasise them in the painting. I do wish that I'd use a satin, because where it is now situated in his bedroom, sometimes the light shines on it and you actually miss parts of the painting because the light reflects on it. Like I said, all personal preference, but that is something I will consider in the future. I've now bought matte and satin varnishes as well, so I've got a whole selection. So depending on what different painting I can do, I can choose one that suits, you know, that a varnish that suits that painting best. Now I've got some clips of me framing up and I will put them in. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Morning. So I managed to finish the painting. It's the biggest one I've ever done, and it's for Dan's Christmas present, I'm sure you already know. But so this morning I'm going to go and frame it up. So I'm going to go down to my dad's workshop. Everyone's going to break up for Christmas at 1 o'clock today. All of his staff are, so I need to get there soon. Me and Axel are going to get in the car. I don't know if this is going to fit. I mean, I picked it up, but I didn't have Axel in the car when I did, so wish me luck. And it's raining today, so that is brilliant as well. It's all varnished and now just drying. I need to make the frame. However, Dan is coming. I think he's coming today, so I can't just like do it in here. So I'm gonna have to do it in my sister's bedroom because he won't go in there. So here it is all framed up. I've got all the little corner clamps on, and then this is where we've had to do a join because I didn't have enough wood. So you can see that little slant there. That's where my dad mitered it, and then taped it so the glue doesn't stick to the clamp. And then now this will all set for like 24 hours. So it's been set for like 24 hours now. I'm gonna take all the clamps off. I'm gonna raise it up with one of these on each side just to make sure that I can paint as seamlessly as I can. And yeah, we're gonna probably do about 2 coats, let that dry, varnish it, and then we can get it up in the canvas. Quick side note, I also decided just to tack each corner just with 2, just to make sure it's a little bit more secure. And then if there's anywhere I do need to fill, I can. So it's Christmas Day, as you can probably tell by this ridiculous jumper, but the frame's done, the painting's done. Now I've just got to put it together. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to do it. My dad's going to help me, but yes. And the reason I'm doing it today is because I'm not going to deliver this till like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock today, so that's fine. And the frame is all drying, so that's why it's a little bit rushed, but it's fine. We're going to get it done. I'll show you what it looks like separately. So this is just the back of the picture and then the frame here. So see, corners look nice. I'm gonna sand off the back. That's just where the paint's overlapped. And then we can tidy it up. I had to change the jumper, it was just too much, but we've got it all finished. So everything's done now. It's all framed, it's all varnished. I've got all my clips and stuff and bits for Instagram. So, right. That's the only thing, right? I have like a window, because I varnish with a high glass, it makes it like really shiny in some areas, like over there. So I'll have to show you with the clips I do now. Here we go. This is it all done. It is absolutely huge. I have got a clip of me like standing next to it, but can you see what I mean about the whole varnish situation? And here's some more down like the bonnet and the bumper. This was quite cool to do, especially the shiny areas. Fun to do, especially like this chrome one because it has like a shine on it and things. And then going across here, we've got the actual track. And then this was the one from the Singapore 2022 race. So we've just got that. And then we've got the fence and the crowd. And then the lights. Those are actually really difficult to do, especially the rainbow bit. But I'm super pleased with it, especially the car. I feel like I got the stickers okay, quite right. So we'll just see what he thinks of it. So that was it for the surprise Formula 1 painting. I'm so glad I did it. I absolutely loved how it turned out. And since I have, you know, set the painting live, I did a 4-part series over on my TikTok. And then I've obviously done a load of different edits and things of the painting. And collectively, like the first video is almost at 400,000 views, and I think we're at 385, maybe something like that. So it's gonna hit 400,000 eventually, which is insane. And if I add up now all of the videos that I've done of this painting, the 4-part series, other talky videos just showing the painting, not tips or anything, let me add it up and I'll let you know. So I've just added it up and it's got over like 567,000 views just through like the 4-part series and then some of the recap videos. So the fact that 500,000 people on TikTok alone have seen this painting is just like, woof, like it's absolutely insane. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the painting. I've got so many more things coming up. I've got more Formula 1 paintings coming. I've just got so much stuff coming. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the painting. If you like this video and you want to see more of me, make sure you hit subscribe, because the bigger my following gets, the bigger my accounts get, the bigger and better my paintings get. So it's all worth it in the end. So hit subscribe, like this video, because it helps push these videos out. Again, the more people that see them, the better. So hope you enjoyed this video. Happy Sunday, and I'll see you next Sunday with my next video. Bye. And if you wanted to know if I got Beyonce tickets, I didn't. I was like 20,000th in the queue, and then it jumped me to like the buy page, and I was like, oh my god. Tried to buy, even like I tried to get like the £57 tickets, the £100 tickets, and then I was like, nothing was showing up. I was like, right, I'm just gonna see if there's even any £1,000 tickets, just to see if like, I don't know, there was, and there was nothing. So it's like really sold out. That was for the Cardiff Stadium, and then now I'm on the Sunderland Stadium, and it's put, due to overwhelming demand for this show, tickets are extremely limited, blah blah blah. So I don't think I'll get any, but I'm pretty good at getting resale tickets, like jumping on last minute, like the week before, and grabbing stuff. So I'll update you if I go to Beyonce as well. So anyway, bye.